Hi, it's Mr. T here. In this series of videos, I'm going to go through how to answer exam questions so that you get the best out of your writing when you're sitting exams. If you find this video useful, don't forget to click a thumbs up, subscribe, and then click that bell for notification if you want to see the next video. Hi, Mr. T here. In this video, we're going to look at how to answer questions on classification of alcohols and haloalkanes. These are questions that are in the Level 2 NCEA Organic Chemistry paper. Okay, Mr. T here. Let's look over how to classify different alcohols or haloalkanes. So we're going to be looking at three papers from 2021 to 2023. They're the Organic Chemistry NCEA paper, Achievement Standard 91165. If you want to get hold of this paper, print it out and go through as I go over the answers, just type in the Achievement Standard number and the year from the top right of the screen. Right, we can actually use this technique to answer any type of question about classifying these alcohols or haloalkanes. So let's get into it. So this is question 3, 2021. Here they say the name of the condensed structures of several alcohols and haloalkanes are given in the table below. Of course, condensed structure is when we have collapsed the hydrogens and drawn them in shorthand after the carbon, instead of just having them drawn out fully. Complete the table by classifying primary, secondary or tertiary. Okay, so this there is a very simple technique on how to classify these, and the very first thing that I do every single time is I circle the functional group. Here, this is an alcohol, so I'm going to classify this alcohol functional group. I'm going to look and see what carbon it's attached to. It's this one here. I put a red asterisk. And then I count how many other carbons are attached to the carbon that is joined to the functional group. This has one other carbon, so this is classified as primary. Okay, going through that same technique again, I'm going to circle the alcohol group here, going to asterisk the carbon that it is attached to, and then count how many other carbons are directly attached to that carbon that is joined to the functional group. 1, 2, 3. That makes this a tertiary alcohol. So the next one is a haloalkane. There's a chloro group there, a chlorine atom joined to the carbon. We'll still circle that. That's the functional group. Asterisk the carbon that it's joined to, and then we've got 1, 2 carbons attached to it. That is a secondary. Last one, OH on the end of a molecule. It's going to be primary. As we can see, this carbon is only attached to one other carbon. Okay, so now we have to explain what we did here. So we just put in two simple sentences, or one simple sentence. We are going to explain the difference in classification between propane 1-ol and methyl propane 2-ol. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the first two here, how we went about it. Let's give a sentence for each. So remember what we said is the carbon that is attached to the OH functional group, that's this one here with the asterisk, is bonded to one other carbon, so this is a primary alcohol. So we're very clear with our language. We talk about which one is bonded to the functional group and how many other carbons it is attached to. The second one, methyl propane 2-ol, the carbon atom that is attached to the OH functional group is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms, so it is tertiary. Notice that this methyl group coming off the middle here, you might call it 2-methyl propane 2-ol. The 2 isn't needed here when we name it. Okay, answers. That we get an achieve point for just getting 3 of these correctly identified. We get another one if we're able to say how we did it, and we get the merit if we put detail that relates specifically to the examples given. So when we talk about propane 1-ol, we are not saying that we count how many there are and it's primary, but we say we count how many carbons are attached to the carbon that's attached to the functional group. There is 1, so it is primary. And for methyl propane 2-ol, there are 3, so it is tertiary. So it's just putting the detail in, gets you the next step up in your mark. Okay, look at 2022. Okay, here they've given us 5 different examples. They're classified either as primary, secondary, or tertiary. Give an example of each classification by writing the letter of the compound in the appropriate box below. So we're going to take each one of these and we're going to place them down here, though it says we only need 1 in each. Look, it's fine if you do each one of them. I'm just going to go through and do each one of these compounds. Start with the first one, functional group, asterisk of the carbon that it's attached to. There are 2 other carbons adjacent to it, so it is a secondary alcohol. The second one, here's the functional group attached to a carbon. That carbon is joined to 1 other carbon, so it is a primary. Compound C looks a bit complicated, but we're just going to follow the rules. So we're just going to go here. We've identified the functional group. It's attached to 1 carbon, asterisk there. There are 2 carbons directly bonded to it, so it must be secondary as well. Compound D, functional group, carbon that is joined to the functional group is only bonded to 1 other carbon, so it is primary. Last one, here we've got a carbon attached to the functional group here in the middle, and it's joined to 1, 2, 3, so it's a tertiary alcohol. It says explain your choice for the secondary alcohol. I'm just going to choose the first one I put in here. You may have only put 1 if you did the exam. And I'm going to say, look, compound A is a secondary alcohol as the carbon that is attached to the OH functional group, I'm being specific here, is bonded to 2 other carbons. Notice 2 other carbons, the specific detail related to that exact compound, and I have labeled that compound. Okay, again, the answer's similar to 2021. We've got 2 out of 3 of these correctly identified. Well, I've got 5, so I've done pretty well here. With the explanation to get the merit. So this is the explanation here. Okay, let's look at the last example we have here, 2023. This one, they've just given us 1 example, but they've asked us to explain why it is. Is it a secondary, tertiary, or primary alcohol, and why? So again, circle the functional group, asterisk the carbon that it's joined to, and then count how many are adjacent or attached directly to the carbon that is joined to the functional group. There is 1, 2. This is going to be secondary. Hexane 2-ol is a secondary alcohol as the carbon atom that is attached to the OH functional group, that's the asterisk one, is bonded to 2 other carbons. Wow, that was a really quick answer here, and we get an achieved and a merit if we've practiced these questions. Notice similar theme throughout all of these classification questions. If you practice them, you will do well at it. Okay, good luck, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, if you've got to this part of the video, you've obviously watched all the examples that I had on those 3 questions. Hopefully this has fortified your understanding of geometric isomers, and you are now well prepared to go and attack that exam. Good luck, and if you found this video useful, don't forget to like it, subscribe, and look out for new videos that I might put up by clicking that bell. See you later.